Play-by-play announcer for the Mountaineers, Metro News Sports Director Tony Caridi. Hello, Tony.
Good morning to you, Hop.
The last time I saw John Beilein was when West Virginia was in the Final Four in Indianapolis. We went there, and I went there to do Talk Line, and you were there, of course. And I was walking down the street, and there's John Beilein. And sitting there having lunch or something. I said hello to him and just exchanged pleasantries. I said, hey, I guess it would have been his second year or first year or something in Michigan. I said, how you doing, you guys? He said, well, we'll be all right. We're getting there. A tough year. We'll be fine. Now, boom, in the championship game. Guy's done a great job.
He's done an amazing job. And I think when you take a look at how he got to where he got to tonight, that really is the best part of the story. The fact that he started off as a high school coach, has never served as an assistant coach, and went high school, junior college, NAIA, Division II, Division I, and this is his fourth stop at a Division I school, Canisius, Richmond, West Virginia, Michigan, and he's finally reached the pinnacle, and it's an amazing story, to be quite honest with you.
And they've had a good run. They started out preseason top 4 or 5, then they faded near the end of the year. And people say now, well, why are they playing so well? I think, and I'll defer to you, that Mitch McGary is just, all of a sudden, he's just lighting the thing up.
Yeah, he has bloomed. Everyone knew he was one of the best players coming out of high school last season, and he just bloomed and got better as the season went along. And I think really having an inside presence, John has not had that in a lot of his stops, that size and that guy that can get things going inside. And so I think that even when he was here with West Virginia, Kevin Pitznagle was an outside player faced up against the basket. So I think that kid's emergence is huge. And then, I think the fact that he's got pros playing on his team. He's got Trey Burke, who handles that point guard so well, and it's a heck of a story. It really is, for where he started off when he took that program over to get those guys, to this point. It's a great accomplishment.
Yeah, I know that. Look, I know that in West Virginia we never like it when somebody leaves to go someplace else. I get that, but I think that John Beilein served West Virginia well while he was here. He paid his buyout in full. I'm happy for the guy, and I'm rooting for him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was hurt. It hurt when he left because things were going so well, and people don't want good things to stop. And so, in that regard, it was difficult. At the same time, you have to look back at it and say, did he leave the program in a better condition when he left than when he took it over? And the answer would be yes. And that's really all you could ever ask for when someone does decide to move on. Did that person bring it up? And he did. Yeah.
What do you think of the matchup?
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, I think you've got this, it's number one offense, number one defense, and it's good. It's a great matchup. I mean, Louisville with its mugging, assault-like style defense, grab, hold, against this Michigan team that really values all the fundamentals of passing the ball. I think the interesting matchup will be McGary against Gorgie Jang, their inside guy for Louisville. It really is going to be. It'll be a fantastic game. I'd be really surprised if it isn't.
Yeah. You going to root for Beilein?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Just wondered. Game doesn't tip till like 9:18 or 9:20 or something. I mean, it's just.
They might as well have started after Jimmy Fallon shows over. It's too late for guys like me and you, Hoppy. We're older people.
I can't watch the whole thing.
And can't they start at like 7:40, get a warm glass of milk, and just kind of be, drift off into a nice sound sleep by 9:45?
You know what? Let me ask you this. I got mad yesterday.
You got mad? That's something new.
I guess maybe it was Saturday. It was a pregame before I did watch the game Saturday. It was a pregame before that, and it was a whole ESPN crew. I don't know. They had 4 or 5 guys there, and I don't want to be too, because when we do the sports bunch, we get in big fights and stuff. But they were the whole crew was absolutely roasting the Rutgers coach, the Rutgers AD, and the Rutgers president. Okay, they were throwing them all under the bus. They were all being very. And look, I think the guy should have been fired too. I think the guy. I thought that behavior was beyond the pale. But talk about, and some of these are former coaches who are going on this sanctimonious rant on ESPN, and I thought they're facilitators. ESPN is a facilitator of big-time college athletics that, frankly, invites that kind of behavior because there's such pressure to win. And for all that goes on in college sports, all the really, really nasty stuff that goes on in college sports, you find a guy who screws up and they can throw him under the bus and feel really good about themselves. I thought it was overly sanctimonious. Now, do you agree or disagree?
No, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. I think the biggest thing to me that stands out about the Rutgers story was why he was not terminated in November. And you've got Tim Pernetti saying that he called for his firing, but he was waylaid by general counsel and by human resources people at the university. And to me,
why?
Well, that's because they didn't feel that they had the legal grounds to fire him. And to me, that is the bigger story when we have got to the point where you can't make a very easy decision to make because of in potential legal situations. You refrain from making the right call. So instead of doing the right thing, you do this, and this eventually turns into just this absolute disaster. You know, had they cut the head off of the chicken, so to speak, right when it happened, it's over with. And instead, now you've got an AD who's a good guy, an AD.
Is he?
Yeah, he is a general counsel, and just general unrest among the the university and then nationally what you've become because you didn't make the right call at the right time because you were scared of the legal consequences. So that to me is the bigger story behind all of this.
Okay. You going to stay up for the whole game or not?
It's my intention. Yes, it is my intention to do that.
All right.
But sometimes I go into a head bob in the second half, and then you just kind of you look up, you check that score, and you force yourself to stay awake if the game's close. If not, then you just smash it.
That happened to me Saturday.
Yeah, me too.
In the Michigan game, I'm watching the Michigan game. It's a great game, and I woke up and Michigan was storming the court.
I caught it with about 4 minutes. See, I watched the whole first half, and then I watched about 4 minutes to go in the second half. I was just like, I willed my eyes to open. What is it? Okay. And I snapped my head. I just shook my head. Said, I got to watch this. This is close. This has got a chance here.
And I had a conflict because on HBO on my premium channels, Airplane was on. So I was going back and forth during the commercials. I was going back to Airplane, which is okay.
Don't even bring your TV up because that's a whole nother story.
That's
a whole.
I got to tell you, my TV now. I'm not going to go through all that again, but I have an old TV. So when I'm watching the basketball game, I can't even see when they throw the ball back out to the guard. When they kick it back out of the guard, I can't even see where that's going.
Because it's being shown in HD and it's a 16:9 ratio. You got that 4:3, Hoppy.
I know. So I'm watching with my wife, and Karen says, "Where's the ball?"
Oh my God!
I said, "You can't because the guard is out of the picture. He's out of the picture."
Seriously, I don't want to start it again, but the Smithsonian called and they said they'd like your TV.
Yeah,
they got a spot there. They just want to put it